Alright guys, today we're going to be talking real quick about buzzbaits. Buzzbaits can be a really great bait in the spring. Once the water warms up a little bit, when it gets to that, warms up to about 56 to 58 is when buzzbait can become a huge part in fishing, and they can really draw some bites. They get bit a lot and they get big bites usually. They're pretty big, noisy bait, big profile, so they usually get a pretty good sized bite when you're fishing them. So if you're trying to rule out those little ones, usually a buzzbait's the way to go. So the gear I'm fishing this on really quick. This is actually a heavy rod. It's a Dobbin Series 704. A medium heavy will work as well, so I hope I'm not cut off. A medium heavy to a heavy rod, fast action. For buzzbait, you can really use, because it's a moving bait, you can get away with using fluorocarbon. This is actually a copolymer line here, but you can use almost any line with a buzzbait as long as you keep your tip up and keep it moving. The line's not going to play a huge factor. Usually I like to throw mine on braided line, just because I won't break fish off. It's stronger. I won't have any issues with it. But this is copolymer. You could use like 15 or 20 pound mono, or 15, 20 pound fluorocarbon. So what you want to do, basically I'll show you buzzbait really quick. So buzzbait basically has got this big blade on them, and they make all types of different buzzbaits. They make them with, sometimes this has two little props on it, sometimes they have 3 or 4. And this one doesn't have a skirt on it. As you can see, usually there's a skirt on them. The skirt fell off, so what I did is just put a trailer on there. Buzzbaits you can fish with or without a trailer, but if you don't have a skirt, definitely throw a trailer. And for that, you just want something with action. I'm using a little craw there that just has a lot of kick. You can even put a swim bait on there. You can put like a toad on there, some kind of topwater soft body frog, or soft plastic frog. Just something that's going to kick that you can reel across. And basically what you're doing, this buzzbait's having a little bit of an issue today, but you throw it out there and just reel it across the top of the water. I don't know if you can see, but this buzzbait's messed up. This buzzbait here actually is the wire on it. I don't know if you can see, but the wire on it is a little bent up, and it doesn't want to spin very good, and it gets all wrapped up in the water. But on the cast that it does work, it works good. And basically you're just reeling this across the top of the water. And you can actually reel, what I like to do, especially early in the year. There you go, it's working now. I don't know if you can see. Oh, now it stopped. So especially early in the year, I like to reel this as slow as possible. And just reel it just so the blade is above the water. So the actual trailer is down in the water and the blade's just kind of waking. That's a really good way to go this time of year when it's just warming up. Water's still a little bit colder. Just kind of like almost like a wake bait, really. And then you can also do, like if the summertime, more active, whatever, you can burn these baits pretty fast. Throw them out there and just burn them in, and really buzz them across the top of the water. And basically what you're doing is creating a reaction strike, and that's why the water doesn't necessarily always have to be too warm. It just has to be to where the fish are shallow. If you get this close enough to a fish, a lot of times you can get a reaction strike. So if the fish are in, say 3 feet of water or less, and you're bringing these right, and they're decently active, and you're bringing this right over their head, you know what I mean? They kind of just lash this reaction strike. They just kind of lash out at it. And don't be afraid to throw these in the same spot a few different times. Like I'll be going down the bank or whatever, and I'll see a piece of stick or maybe a piece of vegetation, and I'll throw it by it 3 or 4 times sometimes, especially if the water's colder, just to irritate them. And if they're under there, they see it go by once, see it go by twice, and it just, each time they see it go by, it just makes them more and more angry, and eventually they just react to it. So I fish it a lot like just a reaction style bait. Just get it real, and it's just annoys the fish and the biting really. Like I said, this one's not running at all. Yesterday I fished with it for a while and it worked alright, but today it's being a real pain. Gonna have to tweak the wire on it, but that's also another thing that you can do to modify these buzzbaits. Besides putting a trailer on them, you can actually tweak that wire up. Take this wire and you can kind of bend it around, bend it up, bend it down, and just kind of tweak this bait around and get it to sound different, get it to go at different speeds. And you can also take these baits, and if you bend this wire down, my line, see this buzzbait's not running, it's twisting my line up really bad, but if you bend it down like so and get this bait to actually knock on that head, I don't know if you can see, but the head is really chipped up, and that's from that blade actually hitting that head. When it spins, it goes click, 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 and so it kind of has a clicker to it, so it's spinning and go click, 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 click. I've also seen guys, and I've done this before too, is drill holes in the blade. Just take a little small drill bit, and just drill holes in it, and what that does is it leaves a really good bubble trail. As the water goes through it and makes bubbles, so you can go really slow and make a bubble trail, and sometimes those fish will kind of follow those bubbles and chase it down. But that's kind of how I fish a buzzbait. Just when the fish are active and shallow. The summertime, when it's cloudy like this, a cloudy day, it's perfect just to go down the bank and throw a buzzbait. And it's basically like throwing a reaction bait. You're just getting them to react to it. It's not like you're drawing the fish to come up because they're feeding, which they do sometimes. I do believe that there is sometimes, like early in the morning and stuff, when they're actually feeding, they do hit them because they think it's a shad or whatever, skipping on the water. But a lot of times it's just a reaction strike. So that's kind of what I got on buzzbaits, just a little quick video on buzzbaits and kind of what I do with them. And so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.